I love that. Born and raised right here in Providence. My own family, my mother, my grandmother, my aunt, uncle, my loved ones, once called Manton Heights home. So to be a part of the team who is supporting this community, it's not just meaningful, it's full circle. This announcement is what's possible when we invest in our communities from the ground up. It's a reflection of what happens when organizations like the Boston Celtics Shamrock Foundation and the Amica Companies Foundation come together, not just with resources, but with heart and purpose. Together with the Providence Housing Authority, we're creating opportunity. We're building something where the youngest members of this community will be seen, supported, and inspired from their earliest days. As someone whose roots are here, I know firsthand how powerful that kind of investment can be. And I know this will become a launching pad for so many people right here in Manton Heights who will one day lead, dream big, and give back just like we are today. So thank you to our partners. I won't go through them all, we don't have enough time. Our educators, our families, my colleagues, and every person who believes in this vision. This moment is proof that we don't forget where we come from, we build on it. We would not be here today without the unwavering leadership and dedication of someone who knows this community inside and out. The Executive Director of the Providence Housing Authority and a true champion for Manton Heights. Her commitment to uplifting families and helping this vision become a reality has been instrumental every step of the way. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Melissa Sanzaro.
Good afternoon, everybody. That's what I'm saying. Welcome to Manton Heights. It is an absolute honor to welcome you to this milestone moment, the groundbreaking of what will soon be an on-site, high-quality early childhood education center for 42 families right here in the Manton Heights public housing community. This exciting initiative was made possible through a truly inspiring collaboration between the Providence Housing Authority, the Boston Celtics Shamrock Foundation, and Amica. The PHA's mission makes us a unique landlord. We look far beyond the bricks and mortar of housing. We are dedicated to elevate our public service by delivering a holistic approach to housing, by pairing housing with robust resident wraparound support services that assists our families to build pathways to brighter futures. The PHA's commitment is perfectly aligned with our new, generous partners who actively seek long-term community investments aimed at empowering youth, addressing social inequities, and promoting community well-being. I want to acknowledge how epic it is that these two distinguished organizations and their wonderful teams sought out a housing authority. And now together we are focused on making an impact for generations to come by providing public housing residents access to affordable, high-quality early childhood education. You should give that a round of applause. Thank you. That access will help children to develop skills that will benefit them in schools and in life, while also affording opportunities for every single family member. The cohesive work being done and achieved through this collaboration is unparalleled. Everyone on this court shares the vision that early childhood education and supportive services can put the full court press on breaking the cycle of poverty. I step to this podium today not only to represent the Housing Authority, but as a single parent and the daughter of a single parent household. My daughter participated in Head Start long ago, and it gave her the tools she needed to have a bright future, but it changed my path as well and brought me here today. And that's why this initiative means so much to me personally. In my 16 years of service, I have found that public housing developments like this one often live in the shadows. And unfortunately, some try to define it with inaccurate societal stigmas. Yet we here today understand that public housing communities are the anchors of so many neighborhoods across the country. Public housing residents are what's up. Public housing authorities are vibrant, resilient, hardworking people just like you and I. Public housing residents rep where they came from. They are so proud of where they grew up, and they often return back and give back. And that's why Cash Canning's story gives such a profound meaning to this initiative. Thank you, Cash. Manton Heights is home to 330 families, and most of them are very low income or extremely low income, with the average gross annual income of $22,000 a year. The cost of everything is on the rise. The average cost of childcare in Rhode Island for one child is $14,000 per year. High quality ed and childcare seats are limited, and since COVID, there are long wait lists. One can understand how accessing such a necessary resource could seem unattainable for our residents. This center is going to change that for our families. Today we are also excited to share that the PHA, Celtics, and Amica would like to bring one more essential partner into the fold, an early education provider who will play one of the most important roles in this initiative. Soon the PHA will be releasing a request for proposals seeking a licensed early ed partner to operate the new center. We warmly invite any interested early ed providers who are open to exploring this project and to learn more to visit celtics.com/early education, and there's also an interest form that you can fill out. Lastly, I'd like to highlight that what we are building here in Providence is a model, one that can be replicated and reach beyond the borders of this city and beyond the great state of Rhode Island and into other communities nationwide. I could not be prouder to stand here with each of you as we take this next step to create a space for children to learn through play and families to rise. Before I close, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge many people and partners who believed in this project and whom we are all very deeply grateful for. As you see, I have many important players on the bench, so I'm going to do it very quickly. I want to thank the entire Manton Heights community, and our public communities, and even our resident advisory board members. Thank you for coming out. I want to thank the Celtics and Amica for your generosity, your passion, and recognizing that public housing is a valuable partner. You will always be champions to us. I'd like to thank Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos for making it. I'd like to thank Mayor Brett Smiley. I'd like to thank Councilman Miguel Sanchez, Representative Ray Hull, Representative Enrique Sanchez. I think I saw Councilwoman Vargas. Thank God. If I missed anybody, I'm so sorry. I'd also like to thank my board at the very beginning. Thank you so much for believing in us. I'd like to thank the incredibly talented PHA family who helped make this dream possible for our residents. I do not have enough words or time to tell you how much I appreciate you all. Your dedication to public housing inspires me every day. I'd like to thank the HUD team for your continued guidance. I'd like to thank all of the City of Providence's departments that came out, especially the police department that came and the public housing unit. I'd like to thank Rhode Island LISC, the Rhode Island Department of Human Services. I'd like to thank Architecture. Thank you for your patience in the vision for the building. And lastly, to my family who came today, thank you for your love and support. And now it is with pleasure and honor to welcome let me start over, because that needs to be perfect line. It is with pleasure and honor that I welcome Ted Shallcross, the President and CEO of Amica, to the podium.
Thank you, Melissa, and I won't hold that against you. I won't hold that against you, but I do have some opening remarks that I want to say. I just want to say that we are all lucky that we have someone like Melissa fighting for our communities. I can tell you, speaking from Amica's perspective and speaking from the Celtics perspective, that we started with a number and Melissa rallied to make us be a much bigger number and much bigger investment in this community. So how about a round of applause for Melissa? So first off, I'd like to give a warm welcome to Mayor Smiley. Mayor, thank you for being here today, as well as our partners from the Celtics organization, Team President Rich Gotham, Head Coach Joe Mazzulla. Rich and Joe, thank you for being here today. I'd also like to recognize our colleagues from the Providence Housing Authority who are here with us today. And Melissa, you did a better job than I did recognizing all the state reps that are here with us today. So thank you all for being here. So again, I'm Ted Chalcross, CEO and President at Amica Insurance, and I'm very proud to be here today representing Amica, our board of directors, our employees, and all of our policyholders as we break ground at a place that will become a symbol of hope, learning, and opportunity for so many. At Amica, supporting and uplifting our communities is an integral part of who we are. We're proud to be an organization that places a focus on caring for families, caring for children, and caring for the future that we can all build together. That's why this partnership to improve early childhood education is so meaningful to us. We believe that investing in people, especially our youngest learners and their families, creates stronger, more resilient communities. And this project is particularly special because it's starting right here in Rhode Island, a place that Amica has called home for over 100 years, and we're proud that this new center will serve children and families right here in our backyard. But our commitment does not stop at the state line. Alongside the Celtics and their Shamrock Foundation, our efforts to increase access to high-quality early education will stretch across all of New England. As we mark the beginning of this new chapter, let us remember what we do today isn't just about new buildings or new programs. It's about planting seeds of opportunity, nurturing dreams, and watching them grow into a stronger, brighter tomorrow for all of us. To conclude, thank you for believing in this shared vision, and thank you all for your partnership in making it a reality. Together, we're changing lives and shaping the future, one child, one family, and one community at a time. How about a big round of applause for everyone? I will now turn it over to our colleague, great partner, and good friend, Rich Gotham from the Celtics. How about a warm welcome for Rich?
Good afternoon, everyone. It is awesome to be here today. I said to Ted before he went up, there's a pretty good chance you're going to preempt everything that I have to say. And what Ted didn't preempt, Melissa certainly covered, and before her, Cash covered. I'm personally touched, I guess is the right word, to be here with you all today and be part of this project. I went to school at Providence College, not too far from here. While I was struggling with my own financial need in college, I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about the need that existed outside of the campus and the neighborhoods around Providence College. But the need was real then, the need is real now. We're exceptionally grateful to be working with the people who are here today. Melissa, you and your group, everyone. You'd think when a couple companies like the Celtics and Amica come together and are willing to subsidize early education. There'd be a lot of people who would be there with their hand out, ready to kind of take the baton and run with it. But it's really not that simple. There's so much that goes into putting together something like this project today, and there are so many people here who are a part of that. And while I can't thank you all individually, please know that the Boston Celtics are grateful for your efforts to delivering more positive outcomes for the people who are in this housing development and others around Providence. Mayor Smiley, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Ted, you're really lucky when one of your commercial partners who's invested in your on-court success is equally invested in your off-court success. Have a partner like Amica who shares our values off the court is great. Between Ted and Shannon and Tori and your whole organization, just a pleasure to work with. We do a lot of work up in Boston, in the neighborhoods in Boston. When we're in season, it can be tough to get to places like Providence, even though it's only an hour away. Our guys are busy, they've got to schedule practices, planes, everything. So we don't get down here as much as we'd like to, but I hope this is a first step in us being a lot more present here. But even if we're not here in person, we'll have this incredible legacy, I think, that we'll be able to point to. And Providence is always, you've got the Friars here, you got, the AMP, you got your own thing. We're playing up in Boston at the TD Garden, but Providence is a great basketball city. The support we've had here from the city of Providence has always been incredible. I've certainly felt it working with Celtics for 22 years and been the beneficiary of that. I think there's, a few things that some of you, if you're not too familiar with the Celtics, may or may not know. Everyone knows about the 18 championships, the retired numbers, the Hall of Famers, all that good stuff. Great players today like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and others. Yeah, thank you. They always get an applause, and they're worthy of it. But we spend a lot of time thinking about outcomes off the court in addition to on the court. And when we think about it, we think about how can we help in providing opportunity for people who otherwise might not get a fair shot at opportunity. And when we look at where we're going to spend our time, energy, and efforts, educational equity is definitely one of those places. We spend a lot of time, research, thinking about how the Celtics can make a difference in the lives of young people. And when you look at access to early education, there's no more clear determinant of future success, of lifelong success, than access to early education. So giving kids this opportunity, this start, and families, who are stressed in so many different ways, to be able to just, in your own development, be able to actually drop your kid off and pick them up from school and not have to worry and stress and let that be a barrier to early education. But if you look at outcomes, children who have access to early education graduate from high school. They're more likely to go to college. They're more likely to earn more money as adults. They have better cognitive and social development. They have healthier lives. So you think, how could that be? But the reality is, it starts with early education. So educational equity is something that's near and dear to the Celtics as part of our Celtics United platform. Being here with you all today to share in something so fantastic. I want to take a quick minute. They'll be embarrassed. They don't like when I do this. To shout out Cash, who you heard from a little bit earlier, and you will throughout the day, and Dave Hoffman, who runs our community engagement group and our overall racial equity and social justice efforts. They are. I don't like to use the word warriors since we lost to them in the finals a couple of years ago, but they're warriors. They are people who roll up the sleeves and go to work every day, just like I'm sure Melissa and her group do. They make us proud every day, and Cash in particular, for me, I'll say this, is the budget was coming through for this, and I'm looking at it and saying, wow, this is a big project. You were my inspiration, personally. I think you're the inspiration for a lot of people at the Celtics. Your story, what you've been able to accomplish in your life, and coming back to your community and giving back this way is to me, nothing short of amazing. So thank you for giving us that inspiration, and thank you all for being here today. And I think up next, I'm calling my good friend and head coach of the Boston Celtics, Rhode Island native, Joe Mazzulla.
Hello everyone, thanks for having us today. Rich, thank you. Mika, thank you. Melissa, thank you. Cash, thank you for being really an inspiration, especially if someone from the Rhode Island area. And you know, I grew up in Johnson, just one town over. But a lot of my teammates, a lot of my coaches, a lot of the influential people in my life came here, you know, from Providence and spent a lot of time here, you know, through sport. And I think today is really a lesson in how sports and education can bring people together. And as I moved away, came back here about 8 years ago, and as I started to come back here, I really started to remember, reminisce, be able to thank, visit all the people who had a positive impact on who I am today. You know, I'm only standing here today because as a young kid, I had the right people in my life. I had the right people teaching me. I had the right education system. I had the right coaches. I had great teammates. I had everything I needed to be able to stand here today. So I also want to thank every teammate that I've had at every level, every coach, every teacher, my family, my parents, and really the community. You know, Rhode Island's a small state, so you spend a lot of time in different towns, in different cities, and you end up building a sense of identity there. And I think that's what today is about. And so, you know, for the adults here, we are a product of our environment. We are a product of where we came from. I have an opportunity to live, you know, my dream every single day because of my environment, because of where I grew up, because of the people that poured into me. And for the kids here today, you know, we have everything that we need, and this early education center is now another building block. But with the right people in our life, we have everything we need to go after the dreams that we want to go after and to achieve the goals that we want to achieve. And I think it's important today that the kids know that. I think it's important that us adults know that you know, we're responsible for the people ahead of us. We're responsible for the children ahead of us. We're responsible for the legacy ahead of us. And you know, kids, we're responsible for working towards that. And there's two parts to the dream and the job that I get to live. There's obviously the basketball piece, which gets probably the majority of the attention, whether it's playing, whether it's winning, whether it's losing, whether it's the sport itself. And quite honestly, that means absolutely nothing compared to the legacy that the Celtics and Amica and Providence Housing Authority, the things that we're trying to do here. The wins will go away, the sport may even go away, but that building's not going to go away. And you know, the curriculum, the education, and the seeds that plants, and the people, the kids who are raised in that building, the people who are raised in this environment are not going to go away. They're going to make that even better. And so that's important that we know we have to pour into the education here. We have to leave the place, leave the city, leave the state, leave the area better than we found it. And the building doesn't mean as much as the people that will be in that building, and the teachers, the parents, and the children. And you know, it's important that we do that together. So I've been able to achieve a lot, but being a part of this, especially in my hometown, my home state, and being with the Celtics, and something that's important to me, education, I'm grateful. And I think it's important that we do that together. So I'd like to introduce Mayor Smiley, and thank you very much for everything.
Thanks, Coach. I've spoken before a lot of people before and never been intimidated about being on schedule about what's about to happen here. So, because I know you're all here because you're excited about early childhood education, right? That's right.